Okay then everybody, this is your transformation process for your G2 Universe Dinobot Snarl figure. This is of course from the new Age of the Primes toy line. It is the Generation Select. It will just be the transformation process. The review will be separately uploaded and this is going to act as a tutorial, so I hope it helps you out. And of course it will work for your Studio Series 86 version as well. So as I move these out of the way, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And also huge thanks to Indemand via Hasbro for having a chance to play with these samples, and these are exactly that. These are test piece samples, and I need to make you aware of that straight away because I've got a bit of an issue going on with this hand. I'll explain it in a second and a bit more in the review, but it isn't going where I want it to. It's not going to hinder this video. You'll still be able to do your transformation process. I'll explain more about it when we get to it. So let's start off with the backpack. So this is made up of a couple of parts which do all extend out. So this part at the back will come up there, and then this part here will separately tab via them two tabs out of that. Now what I choose to do is to bring this up all the way out of the way, and then you can bring this together as well. And if you want to, you can join it together. It doesn't make too much of a difference. The instructions say to do it much later, but I'm going to do it now and tuck that there. Now we're going to turn our attention to the arms. This arm is absolutely perfect, and then I'm going to have to do something that I don't normally do, and I'm going to have to pinch because I've seen a few of Emgo's transformations, and I think he says second verse same as the first. So lovely homage to Emgo then. He's a great guy as well. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to take this arm, we're going to lift this there. So what you're looking to do is take the dinosaur foot, extend it as far out as you can, rotate that there, and if you keep pushing this back, this will fit. It should just cascade into there neatly, which it has, thankfully. This will now close over there, and this is where, again, this transformation process is super clever, guys. If you've not seen this, this is your first experience of this mold, it is clever. Fully extend out at the elbows, double bend there, and click that tab into here, and then what you've got is one of the hind legs. So let's bring this all the way down and out of the way. Now the issue I've got with this, because it's a test piece, is it must be misassembled, because I've tried to push this around with quite a bit of pressure, and you can see this tab there is catching, so it shouldn't be there. So what I've done is I've got it thereabouts, so it'll still be okay for the review, but for this reason I cannot show you exactly what to do. But as I say, in the words of Emgo himself, second verse same as the first. Let's tuck this around, bring it there, and there is the back legs. Right, let's turn our attention to the very, very clever waist and everything going on in here. So hold on to the torso very tightly, grab onto the thighs, pull this all the way down, rotate it 180 degrees, and what we're going to do now is we're going to open up this part of the side of the foot, lift this up, rotate up the small dinosaur leg there, and then you've got a giant tab here and a cutout there. Bring just that part over and tab that in, and then what you're going to do is close that back up and fold what were the toes down. Keep this out of the way for now. Same principle on this side, so fold this out, open up that. This is your small dinosaur leg. Rotate this out, fold it over and tab it into there. Keep this out for now, fold this down and fold the toes down. This is where it gets even cleverer, guys. We're going to now bend at the knee. We're going to bend that all the way down so we can bring out the dinosaur head. So let me show you from this angle. I need to, there we go. So in fact, let's bring this over like so, and the head, oh, I've popped that out and I didn't want to, is in here. So let me just lift up these spikes, lift up these two spikes like so. You can then fold out the dinosaur head, which is here, bring it all the way out, and then these two spikes will then tab in there like so. Same principle on this side. So we've lifted up the spikes, you can see it better this way. Bring out the dinosaur head all the way out like that, and pop that there, and bring this down. And then what we're going to do, keep these out like so, and as I say, this is where it gets clever. Make sure this is lifted up. That's the whole chest cavity. Lift it up. This is going to collapse over itself like so. I'm going to bring them over individually and then clip these there, and then push this down. And remember, because we've extended out the body, you can collapse this in like so. You can bring this, fold that down, that will tab in there, that will tab in there. This will now tab underneath, and these will join together. It's so clever for such a great big figure. But first, let's collapse this all the way in. That was my fault then for not collapsing it all the way in. There we go. And now this should tab together with this. Oh, where's it getting caught? That's better. That should tab into there. This should tab into there. They should tab together. Remember, guys, as I say, this is a test piece, so it might be a little bit more temperamental than the other. There is the separate transfer. Well, there is the other transformation process of the 86 version if you want to see that with a perfectly good figure. In fact, I will put that link in the description as well. But this was just in case. And I wanted to do it to get it into the alternate mode for the video anyway. So I'm going to fold them feet down like so. Bring these forward. Bring that there. And then bring that there as well. And there is, as I say, I can still get away with it even though the fist is still out. That is your alternate mode. Hope it helps you out. If it doesn't, you can search for Studio Series 86. In fact, there's a link for it in the description. Thanks for watching. Take care.